1, 2, 3, 4. We won't take it anymore. 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't want to arbitrate. Every day till we get our way. Every day till we get our way. Every day till we get our way.
My name is Jonathan Demery, and I work at the Streetlight Shelter downtown, which is run by Janus Youth Programs. And we're out here. We were out here every day last week, and we're out here this week again. Plan to be out here every work day until our demands are met. And basically what we're asking for is what we've had for 10 years, which is called a peer review panel. It allows for people who've been fired to have their peers sit on a panel and review the case and decide if they thought that the firing was fair or not. And our managers are saying that they won't sign our contract at both the Streetlight and Porch Light shelters, and also at another program Janus Youth runs called Harry's Mother. They won't sign those two different contracts with the workers and with the Portland IWW unless the workers give up their fight for this panel and agree to have binding arbitration, which would basically be something that would cost $1,500 a day, could take multiple days. And so it's a panel that is in place right now that costs next to nothing, and this binding arbitration would cost more money than the workers or the union can afford. And so the management knows that this is something that they're trying to replace, that would make it unfeasible for workers to basically have any meaningful oversight, any democratic oversight into these discharged employees. So we're out here arguing that we want to have the small wage that Janus has offered us, and they're telling us they won't give us that wage until we give up this fight for this employee or peer review panel. And we want to let them know that that's not fair and that we disagree with their approach and their union busting tactics. They've given a small wage, but they won't give that to us until we have agreed to give up this struggle for this peer review panel. So basically, for workers to get the raise, Janus is telling them that they have to stop fighting for this peer review panel that we've always had and doesn't cost any money and is a very democratic process. So wages are tied in, and also the fact that they're trying to trade binding arbitration for this peer review panel is very much tied to the economics of workers not having very much money and not being able to afford to pay for binding arbitration. They are a local nonprofit organization that is mostly funded by city, county, and state grants, and so mostly people's money that is going to pay for this program. And despite that, they're pretty hierarchical, and they're not allowing for workers and the community to have any input on these issues. They're basically top-down decisions that are being made, and we're told that we just have to live with them. And their upper management makes their top manager, Dennis Morrow, makes over $156,000 a year, while they can't give their workers who are running the programs on the front lines of these programs even $10 an hour in many cases. And they're trying to pressure us economically to give up some of the small worker rights that we've gained over the years and that we believe in and want to keep.
So you're saying this is a for-profit over profit?
It is not. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and they are mostly funded through the county and the city, and but they're not government. They're a nonprofit. They write grants to get most of the funding that they have, but they also won't be held accountable by the city or by people. They do most of their dealings with politicians and kind of in getting some of these grants in backroom deals that we don't get to see and are not very transparent. $156,000 is what his reported 990 form, which is their tax form for a 501c3, a nonprofit organization. That was the last reported salary and benefits for Dennis Morrow, and I think that's way more than anyone should be making in a nonprofit, considering that most of the workers make less than $20,000 a year. I think that somebody making $156,000 is a ridiculous amount of money to be earning for for the kind of work that we do.
But apparently the city and the county they give them the grant money don't agree.
Apparently not, and the board members who are allowing him to have that salary don't agree, many of whom are professionals who also make quite a bit of money, and they've decided that that's fair for someone at the top to make, and we disagree with that. I mean, I think some these economic hierarchies that are present in a nonprofit are part of the problem, and a large part of the problem, and need to be criticized by people who are paying for this in their tax dollars, and need to be these people need to be held accountable for the choices that they're getting away with making. We intend to stand out here until we have our demands met. So we're also planning to continue to get media and county and city and community allies to put pressure on Dennis Morrow, and we don't plan to give up this fight. So we're planning to keep struggling until we get what we've asked for.
How many is we?
Well, today is the smallest we've had. We've had over 20 out here on the picket line for one day last week, and most days we've had about 15 people out here. So it was raining pretty hard earlier, so we got cold, and a good number of us went in. But even on a day that's raining, we've had 7 or 8 out here today. So
are they all workers?
A lot of them are members of the Portland IWW, the Industrial Workers of the World, and then also people who work in Harry's Mother and Streetlight and Porchlight programs like myself. So yeah, there's a mix of allies from. We've also had people from Jobs with Justice and different labor unions coming out. So a lot of different support from the community as well as workers from these different shops.
So you encourage the community to join you then?
We are, yeah. We definitely appreciate all the community support that we've gotten and continue to get.